The Trump civil fraud saga, a convoluted tale that's far from over. The recent developments in the Trump civil fraud case have left many scratching their heads as President Donald Trump and New York Attorney General Letitia James both claimed victory following New York's Intermediate Appeals Court's ruling. However, the case's complexity and the court's unusual decision-making process have left many wondering what exactly happened and where it goes from here. Upon delving into the 323-page document available on the New York court system's website, it becomes apparent that this case is anything but straightforward. The court's ruling consists of 3 separate decisions from a 5-justice panel, none of which garnered a majority, leaving observers puzzled as to how a clear decision could emerge from such a muddled situation. Justice Peter Moulton and Justice Dianne Renwick's opinion stated that the Attorney General acted lawfully in pursuing the fraud case against Trump, but they found the $500 million penalty imposed on the defendants to be excessive and unconstitutional. Meanwhile, Justice John Higgett and Justice Lynette Rosado agreed that James had the authority to bring the suit, but believed a new trial was necessary. Justice David Friedman, on the other hand, argued for dismissing the case entirely in Trump's favor. In an effort to reach a resolution, Higgett and Rosado, despite their reservations, reluctantly joined Moulton and Renwick's opinion, tossing out the financial penalty and sanctions on Trump's defense lawyers while upholding the case in James' favor. This decision came with the acknowledgement of the incongruity of the situation, given the lack of a clear majority supporting any single opinion. Given the extraordinary circumstances, the parties involved must now have a decision on this matter, with the option of further review by New York's highest court, the Court of Appeals. James, who is currently under investigation by the Trump administration in response to her investigation of him prior to the election, has already indicated her intention to take the case to the higher court. James released a statement on Thursday, stating that the appeals court affirmed the trial court's well-supported finding of fraud against Donald Trump, his company, and 2 of his children. She also mentioned that the court upheld the injunctive relief, limiting Trump and the Trump Organization officers' ability to conduct business in New York. However, her statement did not explicitly address the significant penalty being overturned, instead focusing on the appeal to the Court of Appeals and her commitment to protecting the rights and interests of New Yorkers. While James' statement can be supported by Thursday's opinions, it takes on a different tone when viewed against the backdrop of the court's complex decision-making process. Similarly, Trump's claim of a total victory is not entirely accurate, as evidenced by Justice Friedman's dissenting opinion, which Trump praised in a Truth Social post. In his opinion, Friedman likened the outcome to a football game where a team is awarded a touchdown without crossing the goal line, highlighting the odd nature of the case. Despite the convoluted nature of the case, it is important to remember that the game is not over yet. The Trump civil fraud saga continues, and further developments are expected as the case progresses through the legal system. Stay informed on the latest legal news and updates by subscribing to the Deadline Legal Newsletter, where you'll receive expert analysis on the top legal stories of the week, including updates from the Supreme Court and developments in the Trump administration's legal cases.